Buenos días es la señora Concepción. Good morning is Señora Concepción, and these are stem change verbs that change from E to IE. Hopefully, the acronym PEPQT will help you to remember them, which are Pensar, to think, Empezar, to start, Preferir, sounds like, prefer, and it is, and Querer, to want, and then tener. I have some examples for you so you can see them in sentences, in context. María piensa muchas cosas. Cosas means things, and so it means María thinks a lot of things. Yo empiezo a cocinar a las 5 de la tarde. And so empezar, I start to cook at 5 afternoon. Pedro y María prefieren estudiar en las tardes. Pedro y María prefer to study in the afternoons. Nosotros queremos sacar buenas notas. We want to get good grades. Vosotros queréis almorzar. You all want to have lunch. Now, a couple of things that I want you to remember here. Look how it changes piensa, the E to IE. That's why they're called stem changes. But notice that in the nosotros y vosotros, there is no stem change. Okay? That's why these are boot verbs, because we're going to take a look at the conjugation and you're going to see that it follows like a boot. Another thing, another rule that we've been talking about is when a verb like cocinar is after another verb, it goes after, and that first verb is conjugated. The second verb, we use the infinitive form. We don't conjugate the verb. Empiezo a cocinar. I start cooking. Okay. Cocinar is an object of that first verb. Okay. So who does this action to start? Yo empiezo. That's why you conjugate this one. The second one you don't. Now take a look. Pedro y María prefieren. What do they prefer? Estudiar. The infinitive form. And in nosotros queremos. What do we want? We want sacar buenas notas, to obtain good grades. Then the next one, vosotros queréis. What do you all want? We want to have lunch. Queréis almorzar. Another thing that I want you to notice is that sacar buenas notas means to obtain good grades. But then if you change the verb here and you say escribir buenas notas, the verb to write, then the meaning of buenas notas is to write good notes. Okay, so or to get good notes. So a verb in Spanish has two parts, stem and ending, and I have some examples here. Hablar, you're familiar with the verb hablar, to talk. Preferir, empezar. So just a reminder that the last two letters is what we call the ending, and then the rest is the stem. Now we have here two verbs that I put them together because they have two E's. So if you're wondering which one you are going to change the E next to the ending. The second E. And here you have it. Empiezo, yo empiezo, tú empiezas, él, ella, usted empieza, ellos, ellas, ustedes empiezan. But notice that in the nosotros and vosotros, you don't have a stem change. The same with preferir. Okay? Yo prefiero, tú prefieres, él, ella, usted prefiere, nosotros preferimos, vosotros preferís, ustedes prefieren. Empezar, to start, to begin. ¿Cuándo empieza Chapo? Chapo. And then you're going to conjugate. Let's see. Think. Chapo a las. If you answer Chapo empieza a las 10:40, you are right. Chapo is an it. You're going to use the third person singular. You're talking about one thing, which is Chapo. Chapo empieza a las 10:40. And when you see, when you're talking about the time that something starts, you are going to use a las and then you say the time. At 10:40, you use a las. Okay, let's take another example. ¿Cuándo empieza la clase de inglés? La clase de inglés empieza a las, and this, it will depend on the day and your schedule. Let's say 8 o'clock in the morning. La clase de inglés empieza a las 8 de la mañana. Preferir. Preferir is about choices. To choose something that you lean on and you like. ¿Cuál prefieres? You're going to use the question ¿cuál? Which one do you prefer? ¿Cuál prefieres? Yo prefiero, and then, I don't know, depending on your preferences. I'd rather study in the morning. So, yo prefiero estudiar en la mañana. But I don't know about you. Maybe in the morning is not the ideal time. So you say, yo prefiero estudiar en la tarde. Here, first verb, you conjugate, yo prefiero. And then the second one, you don't. You use the infinitive form. Tarde. Okay. Now, when tarde can mean two things. It could mean to be late or it could be in the afternoon. So when do you know the difference? When you use tarde after a verb, then it means late. When there's nothing in between that verb and tarde, then it means to arrive late. Now, if you have something like this, en la tarde, that means in the afternoon. Okay, so tarde after the verb, late. Tarde after en la tarde or de la tarde means in the afternoon. Querer, tarde. Querer, like you see, means want. And then look at the changes again, the stem changes. And now you should know those endings, how they change in the present tense. Okay, yo quiero, tú quieres, él, ella, usted quiere, nosotros queremos, vosotros queréis, ustedes quieren. Now, escribe las frases en español. Write the sentences in Spanish. Here we go. Maria doesn't want to arrive late. Pedro y Juan don't want to arrive in the afternoon. You all don't want to arrive late. I want you to use ustedes in here. We don't want to arrive in the afternoon. Pause if you need more time. Escribe las frases en español. María no quiere llegar tarde. Pedro y Juan no quieren llegar en la tarde. Ustedes no quieren llegar tarde. Nosotros no queremos llegar en la tarde. Querer and the question word cuántos or cuántas. So when you can count something, things, people, and you want to know how many, you're going to use cuántos or cuántas. Then you're going to use, for example, if you have the materials, school materials like lápices, pencils, hojas de papel, sheet of paper, bolígrafos, pens, cuadernos, notebooks, reglas. Reglas can have two meanings. In this case, rulers. Okay? So the question here: ¿Cuántos lápices quieres? How many pencils do you want? ¿Cuántas hojas de papel quieres? How many sheets of paper do you want? ¿Cuántos bolígrafos quieres? How many pens do you want? ¿Cuántos cuadernos quieren? How many notebooks you all want? Or you can mean she wants, they want. You can use quieren for that, they. ¿Cuántas reglas quiere María? How many rulers does she want? Maria wants. Now, what I want you to notice is this, lápices. You need to know the gender. A lápiz, un lápiz, el lápiz is masculine. So you're going to use cuántos. Hojas de papel, las hojas is feminine. ¿Cuántas hojas? Bolígrafos, you guessed it, masculine, ¿cuántos? Los cuadernos, ¿cuántos? Y las reglas, ¿cuántas? So it makes it more elaborate to speak the language because you have to practice these agreements. These cuántos has to agree with the gender of the noun. Pensar y tener. Pensar is to think, tener is to have. Here you have the conjugations: pienso, piensas, piensa, piensan, and then in nosotros pensamos, vosotros pensáis. Now, tener is, in addition to be a stem change verb, then it also is what we call a yo-go verb. It means that in the yo form, there is no stem change, and it ends in go. Okay, tengo. So remember that. Tengo no es tengo. You don't have to change that e, and then or if you don't say tieno, no, it is tengo, tengo, tengo. Okay, so let's All right. Go ahead and pause and complete this table. Here you have, yo pienso, tú piensas, usted piensa. Now, look, I put this, they could have the same meaning. When do you use tú piensas? When it is informal. When do you use usted piensa? When it's formal. They mean the same in English. You think, you singular, when you are addressing one person. And then, but take a look. Usted always has the same form of the verb conjugated. It means you think, but then it has that same conjugation as él piensa, ella piensa. Now we have nosotros pensamos, vosotros pensáis. Now again, you all. We have two versions. The one from Spain, vosotros pensáis. Ustedes piensan. You all. This is the one that we use in America. Notice the version, the plural version, when you are addressing more than one person in an informal way in Spain, is vosotros. When you use in the plural version of usted, is ustedes. And then again, ellos piensan, ellas piensan. One more. ¿Qué piensas hacer después de la escuela? ¿Qué piensas hacer después de la escuela? What are you thinking to, what do you think to do? I mean, it doesn't sound like English, but it is a literal translation. What do you think to do after school? Después de. This goes together. Después de. After. The after. And then, ¿qué piensas hacer para? For what do you think to do about learning? Aprender is to learn. De memoria las palabras. To learn by heart the words. Aprender de memoria. Memoria is to learn by memory the words. It's not a literal translation, but it is what it means. And then the last one, ¿qué piensas almorzar? What are you thinking to have for lunch? Okay, so ¿qué piensas, qué piensas, qué piensas? Take a minute to answer those questions and move. Okay, then we have tener. Tengo, tienes, tiene, tenemos, tenéis, tienen. Yo, now complete this table, take a time. And then, yo tengo, tú tienes, él tiene, él, ella tiene. And again, this is a practice just to put together the meaning, put together the form of the word. En nosotros tenemos, vosotros tenéis, ustedes tienen, ellos tienen, ellas tienen. Okay. Tener, to have, tener que, to have to. Like in English, it changes meaning. Tener, when you add this, okay? Tener is possession. It talks about, when it stands alone, it talks about possession. When you pair it with que, then it means an obligation. The meaning is obligation. ¿Qué tienes en tu mochila? Yo tengo, and then look at your mochila and check what do you have inside your mochila. See if you can write it You can write, complete this sentence. ¿Qué tienes que hacer? Now I'm asking you something completely different. What do you have to do? Yo tengo que. What are 3 things that you need to do for the purpose para obtain or to have a good health? ¿Qué tienes que hacer? Tener que, siempre, nunca. So these are opposites. Siempre is positive, always. Nunca is negative, never. Okay? ¿Qué siempre tienes que hacer? Think about do what one thing that you always have to do. ¿Qué nunca tienes que hacer? One thing that you never have to do. Yo siempre tengo que decir la verdad. La verdad, our theme for this year is the truth. Okay? So, yo siempre tengo que decir la verdad. Yo nunca tengo que decir una mentira. Mentiras blancas are lies. Okay, this concludes my presentation. I hope you like it.